The Seattle Yacht Club's 1926 Montlake reception had a crowning touch. Royalty fueled the roar of the 1920s in Seattle on November 4th, 1926. That day, the city welcomed a woman whom the Seattle Times called the most beautiful and gracious of all Europe's feminine monarchs, Queen Marie. For the 51-year-old regal representative of Romania, Seattle was but one destination on a cross-country tour. Accompanied in an open touring car by our first female mayor, Bertha Landis, the Queen zipped through an afternoon of stops initially intended for a full day. She drew record crowds, and the city delighted her. "In all of the towns I have visited," she said, "I have found none so beautiful as your Seattle. In each corner today I have found a place where I should like to live." The fitting finale was the home of the Seattle Yacht Club. Its clubhouse, perched on Portage Bay, south of the University of Washington and north of today's Highway 520, had opened 6 years earlier on May 1st, 1920. For a reception put on by club women of the city to honor the Queen, the building burst with autumn blooms, its veranda rails draped in dahlias. Only 200 of the 1,500 assembled women could greet Marie, however, because what was to be a 1-hour stay lasted scarcely more than 15 minutes. This did not prevent 60 women, bonneted like the Queen, from posing outside with 3 youngsters, as our then photo shows. It's no accident that a lighthouse-shaped cupola topped the clubhouse, which the Times called the finest on the coast and one of the finest in the United States. Famed architect John Graham Sr. certainly intended for the colonial revival shingle-style structure to complement the recently opened Lake Washington Ship Canal, including nearby Montlake Cut, which connected Portage Bay to the lake. The parcel, formerly marshland and a landfill for the 1909 Alaska-Yukon Pacific Exposition at the UW campus, became available for the club's purchase after a casino proposed for the site fizzled. The club deemed the calm, freshwater setting a buoyant change from the rough weather, railroad noise, oil dumping, and swells of passing steamboats that its boaters and craft had endured at saltwater bases on Elliott Bay and along the West Seattle shore since its founding in 1892. Today, with 2,800 member families and myriad programs for all ages, Seattle Yacht Club is the oldest and largest such local organization. The coronavirus scuttled its traditionally sponsored early May merriment for opening day, but the club optimistically has rescheduled an elaborate celebration of its clubhouse centennial for September 26th. Sailing and motor vessels from the 1920s are to be on display, including one that participated on opening day in 1920. One might envision the pending party as fit for a queen. In our then photo, 60 women and 3 children dressed in finery to greet Queen Marie of Rumania pose November 4th, 1926, along the west side of the 6-year-old clubhouse of the Seattle Yacht Club. For more info on the clubhouse and its centennial, visit seattleyachtclub.org. Today, members of Seattle Yacht Club's high school sailing team, backed by club staff, approximate the pose of their 1926 predecessors. Major changes since 1920 to the clubhouse and grounds, landmarked by the city in 2006, include enlarged windows from 1946 and an expanded dining room from 1967 at right.